let me take a second and just break down what conscious parenting is real quick, because a lot of people think it means letting your kids express themselves all over your boundaries. And no, ma'am, no, sir, that's not what it means at all. It isn't soft. It's self-aware. You know, it's less about controlling your child and more about controlling the version of you that shows up to parent your child. That's the main thing. It's more about inner work on yourself. That's what it's mainly about. Um, it's basically choosing to parent from awareness and not from like autopilot. You know, it means, you know, you're not just reacting to the way you were raised or repeating patterns you didn't even realize you had. You know, you're conscious about that stuff. Um, you're asking yourself, why did that trigger me? You know, what does my child actually need right now? Am I responding to my child or to my own childhood? You know, because most of the time we're not mad at the child. We're mad because their behavior touched it touched like an old wound in us. You know, it brought up it triggered something. You know, conscious parent shifts the focus from how do I make my child stop to how do I help my child feel safe enough to learn a new skill. You know, it's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. I know you're probably tired of hearing that, but it's true. It really is true. You know, you got to be intentional about what you're doing behind these things. You know, because what conscious parenting actually looks like, it looks like, you know, you pause before you react. You know, that 3-second pause can save your entire household from melting down, because reacting from regulation is different from reacting from survival, if that makes sense. You know, um, you stay curious, not controlling. So instead of why are you acting like this, try what's underneath this behavior, a need, a feeling, a skill gap. That's what I'm really big on. I need to know the why behind it, because kids behave for a reason. It's always a reason behind their behavior, and conscious parenting helps you see that reason. It really does. And then you lead from awareness, not fear. No more parenting from embarrassment or guilt or what will other people think. I really don't care, and people know that about me. I don't care. You know, I listen, but I don't care. You parent from connection and not pressure. If my child's crying in the store, they're going to cry in the store. We're going to figure it out my way. I'm not going to scream, holler, and pop them and all that kind of things. You know, the heart of it is conscious parenting teaches your child, I can trust my parent, I am safe, and I'm allowed to be human while I learn. And it teaches you, I can break cycles. You know, I can show up differently, and I don't have to parent on autopilot anymore. So if you do want to learn more about conscious parenting, drop your email below and I'll send you a link to my ebook. It's only $5, and it's an ebook where you can go deeper in depth about conscious parenting and ways to begin your conscious parenting journey. Talk to you later.